Okay, so new update on this. It's pretty much done on the top and the sides. All the lighting's got to be done, obviously, and that's going to be tricky, but not impossible because there's quite a lot of room to work inside. These are just 3D printed covers at the moment, just to get on the. These are just 3D printed covers until I get the running gear, then I can actually put the proper ones on. This isn't installed yet, that's the walkway. I need to glue that in and put the lights in, but there you go, you can see inside. The rear, this was great fun to do. All this filth and splattering and dusting. There's not one bit of pigment or anything used, it's all airbrush work. And that was great fun to do. That's left loose because I have the special edition motorbike wheel that I can put in there. That just goes inside there, so you get the difference. Although, interestingly, that was on the Kenner toy. So I know a lot of people have been saying, why have you got two of these on when there was only one, when originally there was two. And then I reckon about, I don't know, a few months after filming, that got broken off and they replaced it quickly, and then the Kenner toy was built off that. So that's why everyone thinks since the 80s that's got that motorbike wheel on the back. Yeah, so I did put a bit of pigment in. I wish I hadn't because that looks shit. But I can rework that. There's all these stonings, whether they're sort of, meant to be there or they're, glue mishaps and all that sort of thing, possibly. Like there's a part on the front here that I think that's actually trying to repair the panels that were pushed back on that had popped off, but I added it on anyway. And again, I added some pigments on the top just to have that sort of dusty effect. I might have gone a little bit overboard on that, but that's what happens when you have too much fun. On the top, there isn't really much going on here. Well, there's tons going on, but it is just chaos. It's really hard to replicate, and there is dust inside those strips, T-strips and panther parts and that sort of thing. But whether that's dust or the paint showing through when it hasn't covered completely, because I've looked at some reference pictures and it's where parts have popped off, like at the back, this part had popped off. The shadowing of the brightness of the primer underneath was exactly the same colour as the dust in the corners, whether it's dust or whether it's the, as I say, the primer showing through when it hasn't completely covered, I don't know. But it's so hard to replicate the chaos, it really is. The side is a different colour to the top, just purely by the amount of black's been used on the panels and the chipping, obviously, and all that sort of thing. The top gets quite a contrasty sort of difference of just a dusty effect, which is kind of cool. It's just where the dust would have laid, I suppose. That was probably what Joe Johnston was going for. Turn that light off and I can go around the other side. So, I haven't done anything really on the non-hero side. That's all got to be done. And my little washing machine, if I can get that out. I've metalliced that, which looks crazy at the moment, but there's hopefully a method to the madness. I can spray all in there and just have that metal shine sort of appearing at the end. Done all the back here and the spattering. All those streaks. So this was, oh gosh, so a case of just base coating it with the roof brown, a touch of rust in the mix, and then misting with light earth. I think These were grime, possibly at the end. They're really bright. And then like a wash of just, I think that was earth. I think maybe mud was introduced. All these parts were individually hand painted with black. There's black stippling sort of inside here, just with the brush, just trying to create that haphazard sort of chaos that was on the original. But I thoroughly enjoyed this. Yeah, this was the best part. And these engines on top, because there's not, you know, there's not one definite area you can copy. I mean, there's some streaks down here. There's the tonal sort of black on here. But you just shut the kitchen sink at it and it ends up looking like the crawler. Well, I hope it does anyway. So that's how it's looking at the moment. I wish I could get that in camera better. It's huge. It is absolutely huge. I mean, I've got that huge white screen up to try and take pictures, but you only end up taking a picture of like the corner, because when you span out and look at the size of the bloody thing, it doesn't even fit in. You can't take any pictures of it. I might have to try and get it outside and see if I can put it up against a wall or something. But there we have it. Studio scale crawler. Next step, putting the cockpit in. So I've got to turn the whole thing on its side on some foam, which I've got plenty of, which everyone knows I love my foam. Put it on the lay it down on the non-hero side, and then get my hand underneath. And while I'm there, I might as well try and do a bit of lighting. I have got some lights installed, yeah, under there, and that's the wiring for them. And on the original there is wiring, so trying to stay faithful. There's two brass tubes. I don't know if you can see that. Two brass tubes that go down in there, and that's the lights. And then they shine down there. Honestly, this was 5 years ago. I reckon I did that lighting. Then they come out under there. Yeah, the lights come out under there, and that just sort of illuminates the back. But I'm taking this to a show on Saturday at Bovington Tank Museum, so I might just try and get those lights working for that. Sorry for the shaky cam, but thank you for all the lovely comments that everyone's been giving me. I couldn't have done it without the help of Chris, and I mean, Marvin made the bloody thing. So if you want one of these, head over to Marvin Stifelhagen's Industrial Light and Modelling page, and he sells the wooden frame for this. And then you can spend the next 6 years of your life spending thousands of pounds on kit parts and sticking them on. Thanks for watching.